Hello. Well, first of all, thank you to the organizers of the conference for having the opportunity for presenting this experience. And before I start, I just want to make three short considerations. One is that I'm in a track about sustainability, but I'm not going to talk specifically about sustainability, at least in terms of money or economic terms. But let's say I'm trying to figure out how to show this experience in terms of sustainability, in terms of experimenting. How do you make experimentation when it's distributed? And now I'm going to start with the details. As practices sustainable, how do you share in a sustainable way different practices among many different actors? And also it's about sharing resources, sharing what different institutions or people do best, and what do they have as human or technical resources. That's the first consideration. The second one is that it's about a project that technically it's about to start, in terms that this Saturday is when it has its first experience or its first materialization. But it's based on very real needs and problems and also solutions of different institutions that are not here. I'm coming from City Lab, as you say, that's my background, and that's one part of the story that I want to tell to you. But there are also actors or institutions that cannot be here as well, which are Ravalnet, which are based in Raval, and Casal dels Infants del Raval, also Amical Wikipedia, which is the association of volunteers for the Catalan Wikipedia, and a School of Informatics based in Mataró. This is the kind of institutions that I'm going to explain with more details, are trying to work together with a very special occasion. And the third and last is that, well, no, that was already the last one, that it's a shared experience, and I'm explaining just a part of it. I don't have images then, so... The funny thing is I didn't have presentations from hours ago because I couldn't download the stuff I needed, so I ended up thinking, okay, I'm going to present this without the presentation, but now I have it, so...
The input.
It was the cable. Okay, can I see it here too? Okay. Sí, no estaba vendiendo ya. Okay. So, I don't know how many of you have you heard about the Drumbeat project or the Drumbeat festival? All of you? Okay. Well, probably we're going to meet there too. But just a quick review of what causes this project to take place that I'm going to explain is that there's this kind of train or global initiative that decides that Barcelona is a good place to share lots of practices about development tools and new methodologies for learning and teaching. And as a part of a wider or bigger global project, the Drumbeat is a new repository of not only technical development, but innovations, trying to get the same philosophy of open source development into practice with educators, activists, different practitioners. And this has to materialize in a physical place and moment to be stronger and to have many possible better outputs. The project emphasizes very much the importance of people, or tries to reflect which are the persons that want to contribute to different technical solutions, specifically related to the open web. That's the main priority, the open web, and somehow the way it's being threatened by maybe not the sustainable model of the neutrality of the net. And then what they do is, as a global movement, and I'm talking now about the Drumbeat Festival, but also the Mozilla Foundation behind the movement, is to focus mainly, or first of all, in learning and teaching. They could have been on, I don't know, business models. It could have been on new approaches to political activism or culture. But the learning and teaching is the main focus at this very first meeting. Why I'm saying this? Because that affects also the local actors. When it takes place here, it doesn't take place just as a fantastic venue or using the mark of Barcelona, but trying to have a real impact in initiatives that are already happening here. So the thing turns into conversations where the WOC and the CCCB, which are two very important actors here as well, start to well, talk to each other and say, okay, if this is happening, what other things can we think or imagine that could be useful or a good footprint after the festival in terms of our activities or global interests. And this is something that connects me as a part of the story, as I said previously, and I come from a center called City Lab, which is very young. It has 2 years and a half history only, but that is devoted to experimenting with approaches to new technology. How do citizens or people use them, and how to learn to use them in a way that you can be more proactive, not just a digital consumer, but someone that can produce content. And we were also in touch with the Mozilla Foundation because we had we have a very nice venue, which is an old factory that was completely reshaped for giving these new uses about new technologies and all the needs, technical needs for that. So we are a venue for conferences as well. Then we met the people from the Mozilla Foundation in their Mozilla European bar camp 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago. So we started to talk when the Drumbeat festival was coming to town. And in these conversations, joining the previous ones with the WOC and the CCCB, the things start to concrete into what can we do right after the festival, not just to make programmers and teachers work together, but also the learners, the final destination of the teaching activity or the learning activity, to be involved in a very open way. And this is more or less the general idea when we started to talk it quite recently. That's something. I just ask you to make a pause, and now I'm starting a little short history that I'm going to try to match at the end, which is what we have been doing in City Lab, that we have known after talking with other associations that it's with similar approaches, problems, and methodologies. We have a place for people to gather and to have a great access to the internet and free use of computers. Many different ages and backgrounds come to use these free resources. But this is just the beginning for let them socialize, help each other, and join different methodologies of teaching and learning the use of new technologies. I'm putting, if these are open educational practices, I'm considering that when, for example, you make a note that when you are using the computer, the person next to you should be the first one to help you if you have any question. And if not, you should find another one. And this is a kind of rule of the place. That's, I think, a methodological approach. Sorry. And this is the kind of things that we have been testing there for 2 years now. We have been also producing educational resources because there's the shared need and strategical approach of the government of Catalonia for having every citizen demonstrating their use of new technologies in a way that it can be useful when you are applying for a job or when you want to do better in the one you have. So we have been producing open license videos with the help of people that are in our courses with the SCORM platforms. And this, let's say, a problem of repositories is also shared with many other institutions here working with digital literacy. Sorry, thank you. We have also shared the importance of the audiovisual, or let's say the tools and the processes for producing videos. How can you engage very young people into being the main actors or discoverers of what does it mean to have a chroma set behind your shoulders that maybe is showing something you have just drawn, and you are presenting it to a camera, and then you can share it with your family. These processes of production of materials is something that we have seen are very, very attractive for people to learn. And also, the use of robotics or open hardware like Arduino that make people to, not just use the interface or the screen, but to really work on producing, stuff or things that can work on automated ways. We also had a line of teaching, but also seeing the results of the teaching in kids, not for make of every kid a programmer, but for the teaching the computational thinking, or the way programmers think when they are developing something object-oriented. And this is a project that we're doing jointly with the UPC, or the Polytechnical University of Catalonia, and it's an MIT project. I don't know if you know the Scratch, which is let's say, an interface that helps you by mixing pieces of different colors to program your avatar or any other image you like. And we have also been doing demos or workshops with contents in Wikipedia. For example, I've been doing this with kids from secondary school, and knowing by practice that they use it more than edit it, or that they prefer Wikipedia to Wikipedia in order to really edit in a wiki, or with OpenSim 3D metaverses, which are the open source side of metaverses. What else? We have also been in a project that involved having operational work sets in not common scenarios, or in public spaces, or in places where very different people can gather in a certain time and moment and share, ask, show, or compare what they're doing at their works. We consider also these learning spaces or the experimental places where some outputs are not the usual ones when you are in your usual workplace. And all these experiences are somehow affecting this final part of what I wanted to explain, which is this project of sharing what these different institutions in Raval, but also in Cornellà, where the City Lab is from, have in common. What we have in common is that we are dealing with similar problems or solutions. People that come or enters our non-formal, because we are non-formal education institutions, places are very attracted by technology or by the use they can do with new tools. But the challenge then is to not just use them, but enter into learning how to produce them, how to produce content, or in the case of Raval, even how to engage into productive activities rather than being outside on the streets, maybe not in this kind of safe or productive environment. And what we need is a place and time to share all these initiatives that we are not, until the moment. That's probably one of the funniest things about the project, is that we knew each other, but we didn't really find the excuse or the good excuse to know better what we were doing. So what we are planning is a first temporary settlement this Saturday morning, where we're going to bring some of the activities we work with, some of the people or learners we work with as well, and we're going to observe what's happening, and then we're going to just go have a lunch all together, discuss what we think it's a good practice, or what are the problems when trying these new approaches to teaching or learning we all have. So there are many things that can be done there. That's also concerning people that can observe that and produce good academical materials by direct observation, by doing ethnography, or by interviewing the learners or the teachers. And we want to start small. We want to start with 8 activities with some kids that are already engaged in some of our projects, and with some facilitators and observers. These activities have very much in common with the previous background I was telling you about before, which is, for example, the use of these interfaces, the Scratch software for making animations, and this way entering into the way you can start to think or see things like programmers do. Mixing it with Arduino, which is this open hardware that is very attractive for kids as well, and they can engage. We're having kids that are already joining courses into repairing computers and hardware, and they are much more oriented to this kind of problem solving and development. So we're going to have also the video approach, which is to do a digital gincana where you can interview people, and that's something that they do in some associations in Raval as well already. Interview people about how do they feel about the neighborhood, or what's their personal history, or one personal history about the neighborhood, and then share it online. These are the shape or philosophy of activities we want to share directly this day, and then decide what's next. We already have a venue for the next meeting. We have already very good partners and interest for observe and produce publications, and that's basically what I want to share with you. And I don't know how much time do I have for questions, or if I made myself clear. Okay.
Thank you. So we have these 5 minutes for questions and comments. Well, I wanted to ask you what are the target groups? You commented it's about 30 kids, but well, more or less which ages they have.
Okay.
What are the overall? What are the learning outcomes? What do you want to achieve through these activities? Because I think there are so many.
Yeah. Okay. With these 8 activities, we're focusing mainly in the range of age between 12 and 16 years. Although the Scratch ones have been tasted with kids younger, from 10 years old to 12. And the outputs are similar to the Drum Beat Festival in terms of all the facilitators and teachers there see the practices directly with the kids, so they can not only have the presentations or the, let's say, description of the activity, but see it happening in real time. And for the approach of these activities, the final output is something that can be shared among their friends or online in a digital way. So it can be, if it's a Scratch animation, it can be uploaded to the MIT repository. So let's say the output of the activity can be freely shared. Or if it's the videos, they can be uploaded as well if they want, or they feel like they want to show it to more people. I mean, we want to upload them directly, so it's something that's the way we approach it usually. And there's also, in the selection of these 8 activities, there were a first consideration about the name in English. It's the skills needed for them, the competences, no? That if it's the programming activity, it's more oriented to the use of or the production of software, while if it's a video, it can be not just recording but post-producing videos or image management or image treatment. And these are more or less in these 8 activities the kind of outputs we're looking for. Being the main one, this shared observation and facilitation of the activities.
Any other question? How do you think about the role of the observer? I mean, because how many people will you have observing, and what will be their
Okay.
attitude?
There's going to be one of the panels, which is Ingrid Eriksson. She couldn't be here neither because she's involved in the festival preparation. Is from the New Youth City Learning, which has their own programs with mobile phones and these new tools with kids. As doing an ethnography with videotaping and taking notes during the activities. And this is something we would like to have someone else doing, not let's say more observers than practitioners. That's or one of our main concerns, but that's the type of observation we're considering now. No, like there cannot be still or some of the panels can provide more raw data or statistics about the activities and the kids, but they won't be the same, probably useful as this more ethnographic approach. So this, let's say, is still one vacant or one person we're looking for to help her to do it, so, or for their own research purposes, of course. Well, what we during this conversation when we were planning these activities is that we realized that we have many similar approaches to teach when there's a camera involved, or when there's using blogs, for example, for publishing as a also learning activity, but everyone is doing it at their own way. Every facilitator has its receipt. I mean, there's no a shared not repository, but still a shared bank of good practices that are okay. I do it like receipts, no, A, B, C, D, and okay, if you change this little thing, it changes into this other. We don't have this tool already yet. Sorry.